So my name is Leah Crawford, and I'm an instructional coach at the 5th grade center for Ladue School District. I am working with teachers as an instructional coach and working on different instructional strategies in order to meet students where they are. Those who can do, those who can't teach, no. No, it's the exact opposite. Those who can teach. And so you gotta love kids. You've gotta be willing to go all out and sometimes put aside your own in order to be there for them. What we're finding is that the autonomy that we often had in the past, where a teacher walks in, close the door, I got my kids in my classroom, these are my babies. It's no longer like that, because we can't help kids grow, we can't help kids succeed if we don't all work together and if we don't all count these babies as ours. And so we've got to open up the door. You've got to be willing to sit down and share your ideas and the things that are working well for you and for your students, and take in information, because other people have things that are working well. People on your team have things that have been going great for them, that have been successful for their students. Keep the parts that are working really, really well for you. But when you see that students learn differently, or you have an idea, take that risk, step out and try that instructional strategy. My role is really to be there to support teachers in any way that they feel like they can grow or want to grow as a teacher in instruction in order to help their students grow and achieve.
My name is Ashley Ellis. I am currently a career coach for special school districts of St. Louis County. I currently work, like I said, as a job coach, where I take children with special needs out into the community with the vocational skills program over at Special School District. And the scholars that I have are 18 to 21, and I teach them how to job skills, job readiness, so they can embrace the world on their own despite their disabilities. So I am a firm believer of all voices being heard. We have a thing that we do, it's called cafe discussions, where I allow the students to sit back and say, hey, I like this, I don't like this. And things that have come out of cafe discussion has been music, dancing, and the most popular one is TikTok. Seeing the children incorporate TikTok into their everyday learning skills is phenomenal. The most gratifying part, I will say, is watching those scholars come in as caterpillars and watching them blossom into the beautiful butterflies at the end. That's the most gratifying part of education for me. What keeps me in this field is when I have coworkers that come to me and say, Miss Ellis, they just love how you inspire them. When I have teachers and scholars come to me and say, you're more of a mother figure to these children, and most importantly, when I have parents that come and say, Miss Ellis, you are my real life Shiro. You go over and beyond the call of duty, and that's what keeps me coming back day after day and year after year. The impact that I hope to leave on the children that I encounter is whatever you do it with a spirit of excellence. I tell each one, no matter what you're faced with in life, no matter you're a custodian, doctor, lawyer, teacher, restaurant worker, whatever you do, you put your best foot forward. And you do it with a spirit of excellence, and you ain't authentic in everything that you do.
My name is Starlett Frenchie. I'm the principal at Hamilton Elementary for St. Louis Public Schools. My grandmother always told me to work for something, like have a purpose. And I think every person should have a great and noble task, and children is mine. We keep students engaged by being very creative. We can't give kids a traditional education. We can't do traditional things with the students that we have now, because they have so many different things that they're pulled towards. So each and every day we're trying to provide some fun, something exciting that triggers them to read, write, speak, and think every day in our building. I had a partnership, one of my community partnerships with the Center of Creative Arts, COCA, The students worked with I believe it was the Ladue Flower Club, to create a structure of art, right? And the task was for the students to create a structure of art, and then for the ladies of the Ladue Flower Club to create a bouquet of art. And my students' work was featured in an exhibit at the Coca Millstone Gallery. So that was totally awesome. It made me very proud. It is my hope that I'm always making the right decision for children, and that children are getting a quality education under my tutelage. Exposing students to things that they've never seen before, exposing students to opportunities, exposing students to experiences. There is nothing else that I desire to do. This is it. Being a principal, this is it.
My name is Ashley Gerald. I am the behavior interventionist at Lesher Elementary in the Hazelwood School District. I have wanted to be a teacher since I was 7 years old. So when I was little, I would play school with my cousins, and I would ask my mom to go get some workbooks, and we would play school, and I would be the teacher. As I went through my own personal school journey, I saw some really, really great educators that I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to be in this position. I would love to be giving back to students just like this person did. I try to make stuff fun. Like, I think about what I enjoy doing. I ask them what they like. I try to incorporate some of what they like in our learning. I had this one little boy, he was fascinated with turtles, and I was like, okie dokie. So we had turtle manipulatives in math, and he was like, Miss Gerald, this is so cool. I'm like, I know, count those for me, baby. He was like, okay. So anything little thing to get to know them, to say, hey, my teacher is paying attention to stuff that I like, will allow them to keep going forward. And I let them know, I kind of try to be real with them. I'm like, hey, this might be hard, but we're gonna push through and get through it together. I hope that when they're older, they look back and they say, man, Miss Gerald really tried to teach me all that she could. She tried to get to know me as a person, and she loved me. I tell all my kids, I love you like you're my own. Your mom has left you here with me all day long, and I'm gonna love you like you are going home with me. So I hope that they know that and they feel that first before they take on the fact that, yes, she taught me how to read. I'm so glad that Miss Gerald taught you how to read, but I hope you know that I love you always.
I'm Dr. Brittany Green, principal at Wavetta Young School of Excellence in East St. Louis School District 189. At an early age, I started playing with my friends in the neighborhood, my younger brother, having play school, talking to family members who were educators, like, can you bring me some workbooks? And I'm grading papers and different things like that. So I knew at an early age, I definitely wanted to be a teacher. No day is the same. So, and then just knowing that you have an impact on our future, that's just huge for me. You know, I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about, did I make a difference? Am I doing everything that I can do? And then just wanting to do more, because I just get excited for knowing that I have 414 souls in my building that I have an opportunity to help mold and guide into our society. But I'm still a teacher by nature. I love to jump in when I'm going in those classrooms to do observations, to just get in the work with my teachers and my students. And so I'm still able to connect with families and build those positive relationships. Just going back to that little girl, you know, in kindergarten from Mississippi that wanted to be a teacher because I felt like I could bring something to the table. I can help other young girls dream and dream big. So I always remember my why. I encourage my staff members to remember their why and keep that in the forefront for everything we do. I hope that I'm showing young learners that it's always good to start dreaming early, you know, in kindergarten, preschool, and just having a love for learning and helping each other, having that servant mentality, that servant leadership, and then just never giving up. I think when you look at my school, and even me individually, it's definitely a testament of hard work and dedication and that winning spirit. I love to win. I want my students to become winners and just have that competitive spirit while helping others.
My name is Roosevelt Mitchell. I teach at Lincoln Middle School in East St. Louis. The most gratifying part about being a teacher is, for me, the light bulb moments, right? When you're teaching things to kids or you relating it to real life, and then that look on their face like, I got it, right? I love that. That's kind of what keeps me going. That and creating people who can think for themselves, right? There's so much programming going on in this country with media, with social media, with everything. So, you know, just teaching the next generation how to research for themselves and think for themselves and make their own decisions, I think is really what keeps me in it. Some of the misconceptions of special education is the kids cannot learn at all. And every kid can learn, right? Prime example, I've never met a kid in special education or out who didn't know rap songs or who didn't know music, right? So for me as an educator, as the expert, why not use that in order to teach the specific skills? You know, I have primarily African-American students. All of them come in, all of them know NBA Youngboy, all of them know all these rappers. So for me, that's not my genre. I'm more of a Tupac, Jay-Z guy. But I have to stretch myself, I have to listen to these guys mumble for hours on in at home just so I can dissect it, you know, figure out phrases, a metaphor, a simile, or whatever I'm teaching in order to connect it with the students. So now the students are like, wow, we get to listen to our music, but we're also learning. I hope my legacy would be I was just a public servant, you know, in terms of like the late, great Dr. Henry Gibbons Jr., right? He was the epitome of a public servant for everything that he did for the city, everything that he did for Harry Stokes State University. And I know there will never be another him, but I'm not even from here. But once I moved here, I heard so many people I taught with in St. Louis Public talk about what he did for them and how he helped change their life. And even after his death, I hear so many more stories about that. So for me, that's what I would like to be, that effective in people's lives and that inspirational to help people get where they want to get to in life.
My name is Regina Ware. They call me Dr. Regina Ware, but you know, Regina Ware is fine. I work in the Hazelwood School District. I'm a teacher / facilitator of learning at the Hazelwood Opportunity Center. I guess I really found out that this is what I wanted to do for my 4th grade teacher. She really understood me and she pulled things out of me. So when I was in the 4th grade, my teacher, Miss Ella Jones, was the one that helped me to choose the career that I wanted to be in for the rest of my life. It was at a very young age. I didn't know at the time, but I've always liked to tell people what to do. And so what I do with my students, you know, they say to me, I don't want to be a teacher. You guys don't make a lot of money. I say, well, we don't, and we're passionate about what we do. But isn't it wonderful to get paid a salary to tell kids what to do? And then they'll say, oh, you know what, that is neat. That is so neat. So yeah, I think I want to be a teacher. My students tell me that I'm like them. You know, I like to tell jokes, I like to laugh, I like to do skits. I like to act a fool in class. And so when they smile and when they tell me, you know what, you're just like me, I don't really treat them like a student, I treat them like a person, and they appreciate that. And when they know that you love them and you care for them, and they can say, oh, you know what, you grew up in a neighborhood where I was, you're just like us. So I find that gratifying when they don't see me as someone different, they see me like them. I lecture, I give love, I feed them, I nurture them, I nurse them. I do it all because I love it. I'm passionate about it. It is my craft. It's my craft. You know, and I don't want to cry, but I want them to say that I saw the best in them and I pulled it out of them. When there were those that said that I wouldn't amount to anything, you know, it's similar to the song that Marvin Sapp sings. You saw the best in me when everyone else saw the worst in me. So when I retire, I want them to remember that I pulled out the best in them, and I saw it. I didn't see the worst, but I saw the best in them.
So I'm Linda Wells Glover, and I am with University of Missouri St. Louis, and I'm with the School of Social Work, and I teach college students. It's a calling for me. Like, it's not just a job. Like, I really see this as a calling that I want to truly connect with students to, you know, that they will really realize that I care about them, and I care about their career, and I care about them as a person, and that I was truly a teacher that encouraged them and inspired them. It's critical to do a really good job of teaching our social workers, you know, helping them to be the best they can be so then they can go out in the community and make a real difference in the lives of other people. My goal is to build a relationship where students will want to, you know, talk to me even after graduation and have my encouragement and my support and, you know, ways that I can challenge them to continue to grow professionally in their career as a social worker. So I think all those pieces, again, make a really great teacher. You know, I started as your teacher, but I hope to, again, as I teach you, to mentor you, and as you continue, you know, to grow in your career, I'm still a person there who's willing to listen to you and support you, and to encourage you to continue to do this important work, because again, we need social workers out there making a real difference in the lives of others. You know, to see just again the incredibly important work people are doing. So again, as social workers, they're out there really changing lives and really making a difference. So all those pieces are incredibly gratifying for me. And to know that I'm just kind of a part of that growth that I see in helping students to kind of find their path is very exciting.